Just 2 miles from the sun-drenched canals and Renaissance glamour of Venice lies a patch of land so toxic that local fishermen refuse to cast their nets near its shores. They claim the very soil of this island is 50.
This is Poveglia Island, a sovereign void in the heart of Europe, where for centuries the geography of isolation was weaponized to hide the things the world wasn't meant to see. It is a place where the 21st century is strictly forbidden, guarded by the Italian government, and a history of absolute silence.
Welcome back to Tales by Flex. If you're fascinated by the hidden stories that shape our maps, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an investigation. Today, we aren't just looking for ghosts or urban legends. We are uncovering the isolation ethic, how this specific coordinate became a geographic scar that Italy still struggles to heal. The answer lies not just in what happened here, but in why this island was chosen to be the world's most terrifying secret. To understand Poveglia, you must first understand the unique geography of the Venetian lagoon. Venice itself is a miracle of engineering, a city built on 118 islands. But Poveglia sits on the edge, a strategic gateway that was once a thriving community before it became a tomb. Geography is destiny, and for Poveglia, its destiny was determined by its physical separation. Unlike the main islands of Venice, Poveglia is small, easily cordoned off, and surrounded by deep, treacherous currents that make unauthorized access nearly impossible even today. This isolation is the root cause of the mystery. In the eyes of the Venetian doges, and later the Italian state, Poveglia's geography made it the perfect lazaretto, a quarantine station where the problematic, the dying, and the insane could be vanished from public view without a trace. It is a case study in how a government uses the natural world to create a black hole in the law. On Poveglia, what happens behind the crumbling walls stays there, protected by a mile of salt water and a century of official denial. The first layer of Poveglia's dark secret was laid in 1348, when the Black Death arrived in Venice. The city, a hub of global trade, was defenseless. As the death toll reached 1,200 people per day, the Republic turned to its geography for a solution. Poveglia was designated as a plague pit. Anyone showing the slightest symptom was forcibly removed from their homes and sent here. Thousands were not just buried, they were burned in massive pits to stop the contagion. Historians estimate that over 160,000 souls ended their journey on this tiny patch of mud. This isn't just folklore. Soil samples taken from the island have confirmed a terrifying concentration of organic matter, ash and bone fragments that have fundamentally altered the island's composition. Geography here didn't just host history, it absorbed it. For centuries, Poveglia remained a place of death, a memory of the plague that Venice wanted to bury. But as the centuries turned, the island's isolation found a new, even more disturbing purpose in the name of modern science. In 1922, the existing buildings were converted into an asylum for the mentally ill. In the 20th century, mental health was often treated as a social contagion, and once again, Poveglia's isolation was exploited. Those the city deemed unfit were sent across the lagoon, never to return. Rumors began to leak back to the mainland of a mad doctor who used the island's secrecy to perform horrific experiments. Without oversight or witnesses, he allegedly conducted crude lobotomies using hand drills and chisels, driven by a sadistic curiosity that only an ungoverned space could allow.
The legend ends with the doctor's own madness. Stories claim he was haunted by the ghosts of the plague victims and eventually threw himself from the island's bell tower. Whether he was pushed by spirits or the weight of his own atrocities, the result was the same. The hospital was closed, and Poveglia was abandoned once again. But why does the Italian government continue to block access to this day? If it is merely a ruin, why the patrols? Why the refusal to sell?
The answer lies in a layer of history that goes deeper than ghost stories.
In 2014, the Italian government attempted to auction the island on a 99-year lease. The goal was to turn it into a luxury hotel, a move that would have scrubbed the black hole from the map forever. But the plan failed. A local group, Poveglia per Tutti, fought the sale, arguing that the island belongs to the people. But the true resistance came from the geography itself. The cost of remediating a soil made of human remains and repairing structures that have been reclaimed by nature was too high for any investor.
Today, Poveglia remains in a state of geographic limbo. It is too expensive to fix, too sacred to destroy, and too dangerous to open. It is a forbidden zone not by decree alone, but by the physical reality of its own dark history. Poveglia Island is more than just a haunted curiosity. It is a case study in the isolation ethic, a geopolitical pattern where governments use physical boundaries to create ethical exceptions. We see this in remote detention centers, secret military bases, and forbidden zones across the globe. When a location is off the map, the accountability of the state dissolves. Poveglia represents the moment a nation chooses image over truth. By keeping the island closed, Italy preserves the mystery, but it also prevents a final accounting of the lives lost in its lagoon. Every nation has a Poveglia, a place where geography was used to bury a shame. Understanding this island helps us understand how power operates in the shadows of the map. It shows us that sovereignty often ends where isolation begins. So we are left with a difficult ethical question. Should the Italian government finally open Poveglia, turning it into a memorial to the 160,000 souls buried there? Or is some history so dark that it is better left to be reclaimed by the sea and the silence? Let me know in the comments. Does a government have the right to hide its history behind the walls of a forbidden island? Or is it our duty to uncover the stories behind every map? I'm reading every response. If this investigation into the isolation of Poveglia fascinated you, you won't want to miss our next deep dive. We're traveling east to a place where a map change didn't just hide a secret, it created a ghost zone for an entire continent. Next week, Chernobyl, 40 years later. The geography of a disaster that is still redrawing the borders of Europe. I'll see you there.